After a summer of speculation at Oakwell as to who would take over as manager, John Dennis finally put the Barnsley fans out of their misery on the 27th of May when he unveiled the vastly experienced Dave Bassett at a press conference at Oakwell. Bassett soon moved into the transfer market, bringing in Neil Shipley and Jeff Thomas from his former club Nottingham Forest. Kevin Austin was also signed from Lincoln City, but after just 4 full games he was ruled out for the rest of the season after rupturing his Achilles against his former club in the Worthington Cup. The completion of the fabulous new North Stand and the arrival of Dave Bassett meant Oakwell was once again buzzing with anticipation as we headed towards the new millennium. The Reds faced a tough test on the opening day of the season with a difficult away trip to newly relegated Charlton Athletic. The Reds got off to the worst possible start, going behind after just 3 minutes. Things got worse for the Reds before half-time when Charlton won a penalty for this challenge on Clive Mendonca from Tony Bullock. The Charlton striker took responsibility himself, sending the Barnsley keeper the wrong way to make it 2-0. Barnsley got themselves back in the game 6 minutes later. Dyer's quick free kick put Hignett in space on the right, and his cross was inch perfect for Darren Barnard to volley home past Dean Kiley. Charlton settled the match though late in the second half with a hotly disputed penalty. Marty Appleby adjudged to have handled Brown's cross. Clive Mendonca made sure he took the match ball home by coolly converting his second spot kick of the afternoon. Charlton 3, Barnsley 1. Three days later we travelled to Lincoln City for the first round of the Worthington Cup, and it wasn't long before Neil Shipley opened the scoring. Eric Sinclair nodded down Martin Bullock's cross, and the former Nottingham Forest man did the rest with a clinical shot on the turn. The second goal came from a well-worked set piece. Nick Eden's corner met by a powerful header from Robbie van der Laan. The same combination brought Barnsley's third. Lincoln failed to clear a Barnsley corner properly, and when Bullock found Eden, his cross was spot on for van der Laan to head past John Vaughan. Lincoln pulled one back soon after when they were awarded a penalty for this tug from Scott Jones. Fleming took the penalty and sent Bullock the wrong way to make it 3-1. Lincoln pulled it back to 3-2 in the second half. Barnsley failed to deal with a long throw-in from the right, and Lee Thorpe was on hand to smash it past Bullock from close range. Nicky Eden made the game save shortly after, capping a fine individual performance with this fine individual goal. Lincoln City 2, Barnsley 4. Our first home match of the season came against one of Dave Bassett's former clubs, Crystal Palace, and it was the Eagles who went in front in the first half. Tony Bullock misjudged the flight of a deflected cross, and Simon Rogers' overhead kick from close range made it 1-0 to the visitors. The Reds got back on level terms when they were awarded a penalty for this foul on Craig Hignett. Darren Barnard did what Darren Barnard does best. Fraser Digby didn't even bother to move. The visitors got their noses in front again in the second half when Austin rose above Scott Jones to head home a corner from the right. Barnsley thought they were on for a point though when they equalised for the second time of the afternoon. Neil Shipley won a free kick on the edge of the area, and Craig Hignett's quick thinking put Mike Sharon in the clear. His thumping right foot shot hit the underside of the bar and just crossed the line. But it wasn't to be. This slip by Adi Moses set Morrison away on the left, and his ball was squared for Lee Bradbury to side foot home past Tony Bullock. Barnsley 2, Crystal Palace 3. The Reds went ahead in the 64th minute. Neat skill from Christoph set up Eden to cross from the right, and when Blackburn failed to clear it, Appleby headed it forward, and the Macedonian international was on hand to finish the move he'd started with an unstoppable right foot drive. A goal he clearly enjoyed. Blackburn levelled the score 17 minutes later. A rush of blood from goalkeeper Tony Bullock saw him bring down former Oakwell hero Ashley Ward. Lee Carsley stepped up to coolly convert the penalty. Barnsley weren't to be denied their first win under Dave Bassett though, and the winner came 6 minutes from time. Eden's ball over the top picked out Mike Sharon, who showed good control before setting up Neil Shipley to volley beautifully past John Filan. Something to celebrate at last for the Barnsley faithful. Blackburn Rovers 1, Barnsley 2. Barnsley's next job was to finish off Lincoln City in the Worthington Cup. With the Reds already 4-2 up from the first leg, victory seemed nothing more than a formality. But Gavin Gordon gave the visitors hope on 36, converting this chest down from Lee Thorpe. Oakwell was then stunned 7 minutes after half-time when Richard Peacock drilled home this shot from inside Bullock's near post. Barnsley made the tie safe though with 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes. Craig Hignett's strong run set up Mike Sherron to side foot the first past Vaughan. And then Barnard's cross from the left was bundled in by Nicky Eden. Eric Tinkler's thunderbolt almost grabbed the third, but it was Barnsley who went through 6-4 on aggregate. Barnsley 2, Lincoln City 2.
Dave, a great escape in the end. Does the result fill you with relief or disappointment at the way Barnsley played for the first 75 minutes?
Well, obviously I'm not happy with the result, although we got back to 2-2 when having been 2-0 down. We were still in control of the game because we'd scored 4 goals away from home, but I'm not happy with the performance. It just showed a situation where we thought we only had to turn up today because we'd done the work at Lincoln, and that's always a doubt, and really that was disappointing because we didn't play with enough enthusiasm. We played as if we only had to be here and we were going to beat Lincoln with the minimum of fuss, and of course when you go out with that attitude it backfires on you, and Lincoln got a goal just before half-time and after half-time, and obviously that forced us to wake up, and fortunately for us we got back into the game and scored 2 goals and could have won it in the end, but we had more efforts than Lincoln overall in the game. But having said that, the attitude of the players it wasn't professional enough, and we've had a chat about it and they know that I'm not very happy about the situation.
The opening goal didn't come until 9 minutes before half-time. Robin van der Laan found the net after Darren Barnard had miscued his volley from Eden's corner, although Barnard might claim it was the pass of the season. Everyone, including Andy Pedersen, was expecting a cross, but the Barnsley number 11 had other ideas, and he made sure the Oakwell crowd knew exactly who scored it. And you knew it was going to be one of those afternoons when Matty Appleby added the third with his first ever goal for the club. Just watch for the celebration. No wonder he thought he was having a nosebleed. Robin van der Laan then got his second of the afternoon minutes later, bundling home this cross from Nicky Eden to make it 4-0. After waiting 99 games to score for the Reds, Matty Appleby was starting to get the hang of it. And when Eden's cross was only half cleared by the Portsmouth defence, he notched his second of the afternoon with a crisp right foot shot. The sixth goal came in the dying minutes. Eden again supplying the ammunition. Bruce Dyer headed across goal, and Craig Hignett, well, he just doesn't miss from there. Barnsley 6, Portsmouth 0.
David, Saturday afternoon's goal, that must have been just about perfect.
Yeah, it was a good result for us in the end. I mean, to come out and score 6 goals. But having once said that, you know, it's unfortunate Portsmouth went down to 9 men. It was very difficult for the referee. And, you know, with Alford being booked and in that tackle after, I think he had no alternative. And, you know, Fitzroy Simpson was, you know, his tackle was a little bit rash considering, really. And, you know, so they found themselves on the back foot. But sometimes when you're playing against 9 or 10 men, it's very hard. It's not easy because they get players behind the ball. They're not looking to attack. They're hoping you make a mistake. And we had to be patient. And we got the goal before half-time, which was what we wanted. And the second half was important to get that second. And then we sort of outplayed them and we used the ball well. That was the important factor. I think when you're down to 10 of the 11, you've got to make sure that man counts and you've got to be able to pass the ball and keep possession. And we did that. And obviously, from Portsmouth's point of view, they just got worn out and it was inevitable more goals would follow.
2 days later, the Reds were brought back down to earth with a bang in the 6-1 thumping at Portman Road. David Johnson headed in the first before the quarter-hour mark. Mark Venus struck the second after Barnsley failed to clear a corner. And things got worse soon after when Richard Naylor latched onto a clever ball from Scowcroft to fire past Kevin Miller. Jamie Scowcroft then headed in number 4 early in the second half. David Johnson got his second of the afternoon with this fine individual goal, beating 2 defenders and Kevin Miller before slotting it into the empty net. Barnsley did grab a consolation goal through Sean McClare. Hignett put in a good cross from the right, and when Richard Wright could only parry Hristov's shot, McClare was on hand to blast it home. Any signs of a comeback, though, were short-lived. After scoring 2 himself, David Johnson decided someone else should have a turn, and he put this one on a plate for Jim Magilton to add the 6th. Ipswich Town 6, Barnsley 1. After the heavy defeat at Ipswich, the Reds were keen to bounce straight back at home to Tranmere. Mike Sherrin opened the scoring on 36 minutes. Miller's huge clearance was helped on by Van der Laan, and Sherrin's finish was cool as you like. The second goal came from another big clearance from Kevin Miller. Eric Tinkler found Mike Sherrin, who in turn found Bruce Dyer, and he made no mistake to notch his first goal of the season. The game was made safe with just 4 minutes remaining. Sean McClare started the move, finding Mike Sherrin on the edge of the box, and when his chip came back off the post, McClare was on hand to finish off what he'd started. Barnsley 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Dave, another 3 points, a bit further up the table. What pleased you more, clean sheet or the win?
Well, I think after the drubbing we took at Ipswich on Monday, and it was a strange weekend with the results for us on Saturday, and then having to come into this game, and I think we had to show that we could recover from that, and I think we did that, and I was very pleased with our first half performance. You know, we took the game and played very well, and we got our goal, and although we was a little bit lucky with 2 Tranmere players crashing into one another, but I thought we deserved the goal because we dominated the first half, and second half we had to withstand a little bit of a aerial bombardment in terms of corners and the long throw, which is always an advantage to Tranmere with the boy Challoner. We survived that for 20 minutes and then started to get ourselves back in the game, and then started to have opportunities, and you know, when we had 2 great chances where we hit the bar and it was blocked and the keeper there, you think, well, perhaps it might be 1-0, but we got the second one, and obviously it was good for us to, you know, bounce back, not concede a goal and get 3 goals, and we're now in credit in terms of the goals, and 9 points from the 6 games means, you know, we've played the equal amount of games from home and away. We've got sort of 1.5 points, which isn't too bad at this stage of the season.
Here's Wilbraham. Now Jaffo. Well, Cooper made a good break into the box. Well cut out though by Nicky Eden. Try and get it inside Eden now. Oh, a risky back pass. It's gone straight to Van der Laan, and Sheeran will score, and does. And poor Gary Monk on his debut has cause for regret. He looks back at his goalkeeper, but a complete breakdown in communication leads to Barnsley opening the scoring. Hignett, Van der Laan. Crosses from Jones. They needed to get it clear, and he gets it across, and Sheeran gets his second, and Stockport again torn apart.
Well, that's sad, because it's Stockport's best foul, but what a good ball from Jones. Eden somehow steals in at the far post.
This is Ian Moore. Woodthorpe. Wilbraham just holding off his man Brown. He's left him for dead if he can get it across. Jaffo! And Stockport have got one back. Jaffo scores his second in 2 games. And do Stockport have it in them to pull this one around?
After beating County in the league 4 days earlier, the 2 sides met again in the second round of the Worthington Cup. It was the visitors who took the lead though. Keith Biggs latched on to this neat through ball from Kevin Gibbons to slot comfortably past Kevin Miller. Barnsley were back on level terms though just 60 seconds later. Van der Laan's cross from the right was deflected into the path of Darren Barnard, whose left foot volley might not have been saved by 3 goalkeepers, let alone Carlo Nash. Barnsley 1, Stockport County 1.
Here's Elliott again. That time it's picked off by Scott Jones. Franson though turns the ball into the space which Jones has vacated. This is Johansson. Marvellous save, and it's gone in. That'll be an own goal off David Tuttle, and Bolton Wanderers are in front. Elliott chipped into the box. Good Johnson, he looked offside, but it's play on. Bernard. Hignett's the target. Hignett's peeled off Whitlow. Hignett still with Craig Hignett. All square at 1-1. And Bolton in trouble immediately that Hignett had a one-on-one with Mike Whitlow. Van der Laan Sharon will get another opportunity. Adi Moses, deep cross, Bernard, and Darren Bernard has converted the chance. Holsworth gives the possession away to Darren Bernard, and then Shipley gives it away to Johansson. Tuttle heads clear, Holsworth battling for the possession, claims a handball, Gardner, and it's gone in. Ricardo Gardner has got the equalising goal with 5 minutes to go. It very much looked like a deflection.
Good thought with the header. Good running by Wilbraham. Gets the cross in. Oh, what a cracking goal! What a magnificent goal! Aaron Wilbraham from an acute angle. Dinning takes it quickly. Moore. Can he get across and he can? And Jaffo's there! Oh, that's a lovely goal! That's a lovely goal! And Laurent Di Jaffo has gone running to Tony Dinning. And that was the danger man it always had been. And there's a goal back for Barnsley. It was Bernard's strike. Cross comes in. Headed clear. Shot by number 6, takes a deflection. Scott Jones has equalised for Barnsley. In fact, he won't, as Chris Barker took it off his foot. And that's a good ball for Herstoff. And he's getting support from Van der Laan. And County could be in trouble here. He's taking a deflection, he's gone in. And the heads have gone down. Gets the return. Oh, Moore did well. Oh, he's taken down, it's got to be, and it is, it's a penalty. Dinning to take, and scores. A great penalty from Tony Dinning under pressure. It's 3-3.
After edging their way past Stockport in the Worthington Cup, the Reds got back to league business for the visit of big-spending Huddersfield Town in what turned out to be a cracking Yorkshire derby. However, it was Huddersfield who took the lead in the 19th minute. Scott Sellers' free kick headed in by Ken Moncow. Barnsley were level though 9 minutes before half-time. A quick throw-in from Craig Hignett found Mike Sherron. His run was halted by Craig Armstrong, and the referee had no hesitation in giving a penalty. Darren Barnard took responsibility. The outcome was inevitable. The Reds got their noses in front in the 66th minute. Darren Barnard's corner was headed down by Tinkler, and Mike Sherron showed great technique to turn and shoot past Nico Vasson. Five minutes later, though, it was 2-2. Clive Wynard found Sellers in space on the left, and he crossed it in for Marcus Stewart to lift it over Kevin Miller. Stewart's joy was short-lived though, as Barnsley hit straight back 3 minutes later. Nico Vasson did well to block this effort from Mike Sheron, but the Reds kept the pressure on after a poor clearance, and when Eric Tinkler stabbed it through for Hignett, he made no mistake from just inside the box. The points were made safe when Barnsley were awarded another penalty. Eric Tinkler released Craig Hignett, who was brought down inside the area. Craig Armstrong, yet again the culprit. And as in the first half, Barnard punished him in the best possible way. Barnsley 4, Huddersfield Town 2.
You must be delighted with the result.
Yeah, very pleased. Local derby, and to win it 4-2, I was very pleased. But as I say, Huddersfield started very well, and they pinned us back for the first half hour, and they got their goal. And we had to work hard and show some good resilience to get back in the game. And we got the penalty before half-time, so I was quite pleased to be 1-1 at that stage. And the second half, we had some excellent performances. We changed it around a bit, and we got ourselves in front 2-1, and then sort of conceded Harry Carey a bit to give a second goal away. But again, the boys showed tremendous enthusiasm and resilience to come back and get the third and then the fourth goal. So I'm obviously delighted to get 3 points.
You know, I think your forwards have got to react to that. That's in the danger area. Here's Sheron. Van der Laan has made a break through the middle, and Sheron has found him. Well saved, Hignett. And cleared by Schumacher. It's a good stop from Crossley. Good stop, standing firm. Rodgers here on the break, hits one and scores! Suddenly out of nothing, Alan Rodgers on the break, finds the bottom corner of the net. It's his first league goal of the season, and Forest are in the lead here.
Rodgers cutting through the Barnsley defence all too easily. Great ground that he made up.
Just what Forest needed, though. That's how suddenly can they go on and add to this Rodgers goal. But it was a better second half from Forest.
Marino this time has picked himself up and got away from Moses. And he's managed to get it to Baudelaire!
That's a cracking strike! And Baudelaire, like Rodgers before him, a Dave Bassett signing from for Nottingham Forest, ruining the former manager's return to the City ground. Friedman! It's yet another Bassett boy. It's 3-0 to Forest, and the former Forest manager has made a...
Dyer. O'Brien's done well against him. Beagrie. Oh, it's a great ball through. Here's Lee Mills, one-on-one. Lee Mills, he scores. And he's off the mark for the season. Barnsley's corner, inevitably from the left boot of Barnard. Dyer's in the 6-yard area. It's beyond him, and it's in the net. And I think it's Sheron. It is. It's a one apiece. Bradford will ask questions about their marking, but how many goals do Barnsley get from corners? There's another one. Oh, must be. And it is blasted in by Morgan, almost right on the line. Chris Morgan scores his first ever goal for Barnsley. Dyer seeing a lot of the ball at the moment. Tinkler. Dyer, if he gets goal side of the defender here, might well be in. He goes down, and referee Durso points to the spot. Penalty won by Dyer, conceded by Wetherell. He's scored 7 times this season already, 3 times from the penalty spot. This to beat Gary Walsh and to put Barnsley 3-1 ahead. Walsh hopping up and down on the line. It's a trusty left boot, is that one.
Well, when you see the quality of strikes and goals he scores, you're not really sitting here thinking he's going to miss that, are you? It'd be interesting to see what action Paul Gill takes now.
There was a handball, but the referee plays the advantage. Blake away, 2 across the middle. Oh, and he's run into a blind alley. And there waiting for him was Barker. But he's given the ball straight back to Redfern. Over towards Rodriguez. Sharp. They have to be urgent here. Bradford! Oh, that's urgency, isn't it? David Wetherell. What a header. What a header.
After knocking Bradford City out of the Cup in midweek, the Reds were looking to get their league form back intact following the defeat at Nottingham Forest as we entertained Wolves at Oakwell. Barnsley found themselves a goal down after just 5 minutes. Keith Curl's cross knocked in at the second attempt by Scott Taylor. The visitors doubled their lead just after the half-hour mark. Chris Morgan's header allowed Taylor to turn provider for Adi Akinbayi to score from close range. The Reds did pull a goal back 9 minutes from time. Substitute Georgie Christoph did well on the right, put in a good-looking cross, and when Shipley's nod down fell to Hignett, his finish was too good for Mike Stell. Barnsley 1, Wolves 2.
Dave, I suppose conceding very early on made life difficult today.
Yeah, giving the early goal to Wolves gave them the impetus, and having looked at the game, Wolves played very well today, but it put us at a disadvantage, and obviously conceding the second one meant that we were having to come from behind again, and we're having to do that quite regularly, but the spirit was good in the team. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get back the extra goal that would have given us a draw, but overall I thought there were periods in the game we played well, and I thought there was periods where Wolves played well as well, so I'm not disappointed with some of the performance and the effort put in by the players, disappointed with the result and one or two aspects of the game, but we've also got to give Wolves credit for their performance.
"16 points from the first 11 games left Barnsley 8th in the table, but still only 6 points behind leaders Charlton Athletic and 1 point short of a playoff place. After 2 straight league defeats, we were desperate for 3 points when bottom club Swindon Town visited Oakwell. It looked like being a frustrating night for Dave Bassett's men until the deadlock was broken 20 minutes from time. Morgan's cross was headed on by Shipley, and substitute Jeff Thomas volleyed it in to make it 1-0, his first goal for the club. Barnsley 1, Swindon Town 0.
Dave, it wasn't pretty, but the results should be pleasing.
Yeah, you say it wasn't pretty. We had a lot of the ball. I mean, it was difficult because Swindon made it hard for us. They weren't going to make it an open game. They weren't coming here to say we'll play you and we're going to score 4 and you might have to score 5 to beat us. They came with a defensive strategy, which is they're entitled to do, and they did it at Fulham on Saturday, and Fulham just struggled to beat them 1-0 as well. But we got the 3 points, which sometimes you have to happen. You have to encounter all teams throughout the season. They all play differently, and you've got to try and win the game. And I thought we thoroughly deserved to win the game. We were in the ascendancy, but it took a long time to get that first goal. And it gets frustrating, and when the fans make it even more frustrating, that doesn't help the team. But fortunately the team kept their head and kept working at what they were trying to do. It wasn't always coming off, but eventually we got the goal, and when we got the goal I was satisfied we was going to go on to win the 3 points.
Do you think you were getting booed on, or do you think it was
no,
just Eric was coming off?
No, I think everybody was expecting Higgy to come on, and a 35-year-old coming on, they probably thought it wasn't the right choice, but it was nice to sort of get a goal and help us win.
What was said in the dressing room afterwards? No doubt you got a bit of stick.
No, it was. I think it was just belief. That's what I mean. We were just banging our head against a brick wall really all night. But 3 points is the main thing, and that sets us up nicely now for visit to Gresty Road, and then we got Forest back here, which we'll all be looking forward to.
Next up was a tricky away trip to Gresty Road, where Barnsley had been beaten 3-1 the previous season. Craig Hignett bagged the only goal of the game with a crisp finish after a neat 1-2 with Neil Shipley. Crewe 0, Barnsley 1. After that victory at Crewe on the Saturday, we made the short trip to the McAlpine for our second encounter with Huddersfield Town. The Terriers drew first blood when the Reds failed to properly clear Ben Thornley's free kick. Jamie Vincent headed it goalwards, and Clive Weinhard held off Tuttle to lob it over Kevin Miller. Barnsley pulled level though 5 minutes later with a cracking goal from Mike Sherron. Craig Hignett's clever through ball picked him out, and he made no mistake with a stinging right foot shot past Nico Vasson. The 4,000 fans who'd made the short trip from Oakwell were suddenly in full voice. After dominating the match, the Reds were dealt a sucker punch just 2 minutes from time. Simon Baldry's header was adjudged to have crossed the line with the help of the bar on the post. Barnsley's protests came to nothing. Huddersfield Town 2, Barnsley 1. Next up at Oakwell were Nottingham Forest, the only side so far that Barnsley had played and failed to score against. The Reds took the lead 10 minutes into the second half. Craig Hignett played a neat give and go with Neil Shipley before being brought down in the area by John Helder. Crossley's remonstrations brought only a yellow card. In the absence of Darren Barnard, it was left to Craig Hignett to take responsibility, and he made no mistake sending Crossley the wrong way. Barnsley 1, Nottingham Forest 0. After getting back to winning ways against Forest, Barnsley fans were geared up for the big South Yorkshire derby against Sheffield United the following Saturday. Barnsley took a deserved lead in the 19th minute. Tony Bullock, in for the suspended Kevin Miller, found Craig Hignett via the head of Mike Sherron, and although his run was halted, the loose ball fell to Tinkler, who combined with Dyer to set up Neil Shipley to score his first ever goal at Oakwell. Not a bad way to get it either. Barnsley, though, weren't to be denied another sweet victory against their local rivals, and they wrapped it up through Neil Shipley's fine individual effort 10 minutes from time. Barnsley 2, Sheffield United 0.
Dave, as a contest, do you think it should have been over by half-time?
Well, I felt at half-time we should have been more than one up, and obviously you're concerned when you've had quite a few chances that the opposition can get back into it, and United's one chance came from Chris Barker making a slip-up in the first half, and had they scored then, it could have made a different sort of storyline, but we had been one up, we were playing very, very well, and you know, I was really looking for that second goal, and United got a little bit back into the game at the start of the second half as they changed things, and we had to work hard to just get back in it, but then we got in control of the game and just really needed that second goal.
Was Saturday's performance Barnsley at their very best?
No, I think we can be better. There's always room for improvement. I thought we played very well on the day, but we've had one or two good performances this season, and we played well at home today, because some teams come here and try and defend, and Sheffield United did that with 5 in midfield in the first half, and they're entitled to do that. But I thought today we were very much up for it, and we made their defensive strategy a little bit difficult for them to operate.
After the Derby Day win over Sheffield United, we faced a tough trip to big spending Fulham. The home side took the lead early on. Karl-Heinz Riedler struck from close range, although he did look suspiciously offside. Barnsley managed to get back on level terms though before half-time. Man of the match Craig Hignett latched on to Van der Laan's flick, and with Dyer waiting to tap home his cross, hit Simons, saved him the trouble. Hignett was also instrumental in Barnsley's second. Matty Appleby started the move on the left, and Hignett's first-time ball over the top was finished well by the left foot of Bruce Dyer. Within 10 minutes, Barnsley doubled their lead with another well-worked goal. After Fulham enjoyed a good spell of possession, Scott Jones intercepted Karamatri's run inside the box. Craig Hignett brought it forward over halfway, and as Dyer took 2 defenders away to the right, Hignett found Van der Laan, who produced the cool finish to chip over the advancing Taylor. Fulham 1, Barnsley 3.
Well, they have 9 in the penalty area, in fact 10 now, and 1 outside it. Can anybody in red score here? It will fall. Oh, it nearly did for Thomas. Tinkler smashes it in, scores! No more than Barnsley deserve, and a first goal of the season for the South African Eric Tinkler. His 6 goals this season do include 1 penalty. It's Craig Hignett and it's 2-0. And it might be another joyful day for Barnsley. Adebola on, it's McCarthy, superbly done, what a goal! What a super goal from John McCarthy. The former York City player breathes life into the game.
After 4 straight wins, the Reds were looking to close the gap in Division 1 even further when they travelled to top of the table Manchester City. But the travelling Reds fans were silenced as early as the 7th minute when former Blade Gareth Taylor headed in Richard Edgill's cross. Barnsley left themselves a mountain to climb just 4 minutes later when Sean Goater rose above Curtis to convert Whitley's corner. Barnsley gave themselves hope of a comeback on 65 minutes. Matty Appleby's cross was met by the head of Shipley, and when that came back off the post, Jeff Thomas was on hand to smash it into the empty net. Those hopes lasted just 7 minutes though. Sean Goater's clever back heel put Taylor in, and when he found Kevin Horlock on the edge of the D, he placed a beautiful curler into the far corner. Before showing his teammates exactly which foot had done the damage. Manchester City 3, Barnsley 1.
So free kick to Barnsley. Referee wants the 10 yards back. Free kick comes in, it's a goal! Barnsley right at the near post. And it looks like Jeff Thomas. And Barnard can strike him from here as well. And this is Wardley. Well, that didn't work very well, did it? Clearance from Wardley down to Kiwamya. This is Paul Murray now. Murray, excellent ball to Jermaine Darlington. Murray's running inside, but Darlington may have a crack. Oh, look at that! Fantastic! What a strike! It's 1-1. Rangers are back in it. And Jermaine Darlington getting the goal. Kiwamya played back in again. Flag stayed down. Steiner. Oh, Steiner. Yes. Rob Steiner makes it 2-1 to QPR. It doesn't matter how they go in, you know. And it's 2-1. So Craig Hignett is there. Darren Barnard is there. Hignett plays it in. The header. Oh, that's a magnificent save from Harper. An absolutely blinding save. Barnard. Shipley's in there. Headed on. Oh, Harper's. Oh, it's a goal. Well, you had to say it was coming. The goal scorer is Nicky Eden. It's going to be a throw now to Barnsley. 4 minutes to go. 2-2. Maybe a little bit of stoppage time. Is there going to be a winner in this game? Oh dear! No, surely not. No, not over the line. Barnsley almost getting one of the most extraordinary goals.
By the end of November, expectations at Oakwell were starting to grow even stronger. The Reds had moved to 5th in Division 1 and were hot on the heels of leaders Manchester City. Next up at Oakwell were runaway leaders Charlton Athletic. Steve Chettle gave the Reds the lead following this short corner between Craig Hignett and Nicky Eden. Not a bad way to mark your home debut. His joy was short-lived though, as Keith Jones levelled the scores with a looping volley over Kevin Miller. Barnsley 1, Charlton Athletic 1.
Dave, a 1-1 draw, a fair result in the end?
Yeah, I feel a draw was the right result today. I didn't feel either team naturally deserved to win it. There were opportunities for both teams to have won it, but overall, in my assessment, that a draw was a fair result.
Going ahead so early, you must have had high hopes for the game.
Well, it was nice to get the early goal, but Charlton showed their pedigree by coming back straight at us. Sometimes you can score too early. I know it's crazy to say those sort of things because you always want goals, and the second goal was going to be important to us, but Charlton got that just before half-time, and the second half there were chances for either side possibly to have won it, but most of the time we cancelled one another out.
A surprise with a goal scorer from your point of view, Steve Chettle.
Yeah, Steve doesn't score perhaps the amount of goals for a centre-half should with his experience, because he's a good striker of the ball, but he struck it very, very well, and the goalkeeper had no chance.
Two teams meeting today will be there or thereabouts at the end of the season, do you think?
Well, I like to think so. I mean, Cholton were everybody's choice at the start of the season, and I felt they'd be up there, albeit they've had a couple of hiccups recently, but they've shown they're a strong side, they're aggressive, and they know what they're doing, and we matched them today, so hopefully we can stay in touch with them, and both teams are obviously trying to challenge to get that promotion spot.
After the cup defeat at Wimbledon, the Reds got back to winning ways against struggling Walsall, courtesy of a Craig Hignett hat-trick. Darren Barnard conjured up the first with an inch-perfect cross. Walsall pulled themselves level though in the second half when Dean Keats nodded home across from the right after good work from former Manchester United player Mark Robbins. It wasn't long though before Barnsley were back in front. Nicky Eden fed Mike Sherron, and when his pass found Craig Hignett in an onside position, the outcome was inevitable. The Saddlers though refused to lie down and found themselves level again when the referee decided this effort from Ian Roper had crossed Kevin Miller's goal line. With the clock ticking towards the 90th minute mark, it looked like Dave Bassett's men would be frustrated into settling for a point. That was until John Curtis found Craig Hignett in space, and Merlin made no mistake with the goal of the game. Barnsley 3, Walsall 2.
Dave, when the crowd comes to a football match, they expect entertainment. They certainly got that in the second half. What were your views on it?
Yeah, ended up with a very exciting game, particularly in the second half. But even in the first half, there were opportunities for goals. And as I say, Walsall played quite well today. It was one of those sort of strange games for us. We had to win, but it's easy to dismiss Walsall. And they worked hard, and they had a chance to go in front, and then didn't. And then we got ourselves in control and needed the second goal. We always needed the second goal from our point of view, but we couldn't get it. We spurned one or two chances when it was 1-0. They got an equaliser. We then got our noses in front again, needed to go to 3-1, still missed a couple of chances. I mean, Hignett, who scored 3 today, could have had 6. I mean, that's not being critical of him because you don't convert every opportunity. They get an equaliser to 2-2, and you're thinking, well, perhaps this is not going to be our day. But at the end, Hignett's cracked a wonderful goal to give us the extra point, so we're obviously pleased.
Craig, cuddling the match ball, nice early Christmas present for you?
Yeah, it is. We got out of jail a little bit at the end there. We gave 2 sloppy goals away when we should have been in control of the match, really.
What about the 3 goals then? Talk us through them.
I can't remember too much. The first one was a header. It was a great ball from Darren, and I was unmarked in the middle of the box. The second one, it was just I was clean through, and I was desperate to make up for the one I missed before it. That was nice to see that go in, and then the third one was just...
what went through your mind when you got the ball on the edge of the box? You know you're in injury time. What went through your mind?
Well, it just sat up nice for me. John Curtis had played a great ball inside, and the first touch was all right, so it was bouncing. I thought, well, it's going to dip, so have a go.
Nice way to get your hat-trick, yeah?
That's a great way to get your hat-trick, especially with it being so late. They didn't really have a chance to get back in the game.
Oakwell's last game of the Millennium ended with a third straight win against Port Vale. Chris Barker was unlucky to see his effort cleared off the line, but the resulting corner did bring the opening goal. Chris Morgan's flick almost found Mike Sherron, but Eric Tinkler picked up the pieces and smashed it home from close range. The Reds doubled their advantage just 5 minutes later. Craig Hignett might have made it. Darren Barnard's left foot certainly finished it. Vale, though, wouldn't go down without a fight, and Jeff Minton pulled a goal back with 18 minutes left. The Oakwell faithful's nerves were settled, though, in the 86th minute. Craig Hignett's strong run and cross set up Neil Shipley to nod home his 5th goal of the season. Barnsley 3, Port Vale 1.
What did you say to them at half-time? So it'd been so frustrating. I think we've forced 11 corners and so many chances had gone begging, and you felt it might have been one of those afternoons, but then you get 2 players stripped off ready to come on, and all of a sudden the ball's in the back of the net.
Yeah, the important thing at half-time was not to let the crowd frustrate us or get irritated or lose our composure, because we'd dominated the whole first half, and Port Vale really hadn't had an effort at our goal, so it was a matter of us continuing to play in the same manner, because it was going to be hard for Port Vale to last another 45 minutes without conceding a goal. And it was, as I say, the important thing was not to lose patience and elect the external factors like the crowd or the opposition or the referee.
You got now 9 points, still 5th in the table. You can't seem to just move up that little bit more, but there's a gap starting to open up now. How important is it that you're still in there?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we can only look at our situation. We got 45 points from 23 games, and I'm delighted with that return. Had you asked me at the start of the season, I'd have been said, yeah, I'm more than happy. Yes, there's teams above us. All that we can do is keep in contention. All that we can do is say keep winning our games, and hopefully as the season goes on, if we carry on winning that, our league position will change in terms of going up the league. Yes, I think, as you say, possibly there are 1 or 2 teams who are looking below us who would be delighted to be in our position, although we're still only 5th.
Barnsley really saved what was turning out to be a bit of a dismal spell in Aberdeen. Hignett on the chase here, may get there as well. Adamson has come and lost. Hignett now with Adamson in no man's land, really. The cross in, aimed towards Barnard, his header, and Barnsley have taken the lead after 3 minutes. Adamson was in no man's land, he lost it with Hignett. And the header on the far post from Darren Barnard gives high-flying Barnsley the lead. It's Barnard's 10th of the season. Player who began at Chelsea and moved on to Bristol City before signing for Barnsley and the week of the Premiership season. Barnard is to the right of the ball. He wears 11. Tries the effort. That's a super goal. The delicate of touches stuck it over the top of Chris Adamson. He scores his 10th goal of the season after 3 minutes, and midway through the second half he gets number 11.
On paper, the next game against Blackburn looked decidedly tricky, but Barnsley had it more or less sewn up before half-time. Bruce Dyer quickest to react after Robbie van der Laan's spectacular overhead kick had come back off the bar. Rovers pulled it level though within 4 minutes, Per Franson beating Kevin Miller with a stinging free kick from all of 25 yards. Eight minutes later, Barnsley were back in front. Neil Shipley barged his way through the Rovers' defence to set up Craig Hignett, and although Alan Kelly did well to block his first effort, he made the mistake of giving him another go. The third goal came after 23 minutes. Van der Laan found Barnard wide left, and his cross was put in by Neil Shipley, who took advantage of some woeful defending. Darren Barnard added the fourth goal 13 minutes before half-time. Bruce Dyer found him on the edge of the box, and that trusty left boot gave Alan Kelly no chance whatsoever. After seeing Barnsley score 4 goals in 32 minutes, the home fans had to wait until the 71st for number 5. Nicky Eden found Bruce Dyer, and his turn and shot wrapped up a memorable afternoon for the Oakwell faithful. Barnsley 5, Blackburn Rovers 1. The Reds were soon brought back down to earth at Portsmouth, Steve Claridge nodding the home side in front early on. A long-range clearance brought Claridge's second soon after. And he completed his hat-trick and a good day at the bookies with this volley from a corner in the second half. Neil Shipley almost pulled one back late on, but it was just one of those days for Dave Bassett's boys. Portsmouth 3, Barnsley 0.
This time it's Brown's left boot, and Scowcroft's headed to Johnson, and Johnson onto Stewart. He'll have to turn surely and ask Clapham maybe to take part in the move. No, still Stewart. Now Clapham. This may be a good chance for Ipswich, but Van der Laan there for them. For Barnsley that was. McGreal this time for Scowcroft. Good turn by Scowcroft, and hits in the shot. Scores the goal from a remarkable angle. And Jamie Scowcroft gives Ipswich a priceless lead at Barnsley from a most unlikely situation. So Scowcroft repeats the goal he scored against Barnsley back in August. It's his 12th of the season, and to be fair, it's no more than Ipswich deserve. They have the lead quarter of an hour into the second half, and they might have another one here. He's free, is Marcus Stewart. Oh, he's on now, surely a debut goal for him. It is. 2 goals in a minute and a first for Marcus Stewart for Ipswich Town. Two crushing, devastating blows to Barnsley.
That defeat left Dave Bassett's men lying fourth in the table and looking well comfortable ahead of Steve Bruce's big-spending Huddersfield Town. QPR were next up at Oakwell after that draw at Tranmere, and it was they who scored the opening goal. Matthew Rose was supposed to have been in jail according to EastEnders, but it was the Barnsley defence who couldn't escape this excellent finish. With injury time approaching, it looked like the Londoners were going to snatch all 3 points. Georgi Hristov, though, had other ideas, and as he went down in the area, Mr. Ryan said penalty. Craig Hignett showed his gratitude with his 15th goal of the season. Barnsley 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
At it, but it's had the desired effect of getting Barnsley up into the Bolton half, only for a moment, and here's a chance now. Holdsworth, the goalkeeper, Miller has to be sure. That's a penalty. Kevin Miller on Dean Holdsworth. And now Holdsworth tries to extract retribution for that. And Bolton Wanderers have the lead. Dean Holdsworth's 7th strike of the season. 3 of those now have been penalties, and in fact he repeats his feat of scoring against Barnsley in a 3-3 draw last March. Hignett in towards Tinkler, who's got space here and wraps in a shot and scores. What a start to the half. Well, Eric Tinkler, I have noticed, had been left with far too much space just on the edge of that Bolton area, and as Dave Bassett takes his place on the touchline, it's probably to be told that his team has just got an equaliser. He may even have missed it. Hignett wide. Still Craig Hignett, 3 red shirts in the middle. Eden will knock across in for Hristov, and he has got that goal. Does he love playing against Bolton Wanderers or not? No, he doesn't, because the ref's going to give him offside. Oh my word. What a game. And I thought that Georgi Hristov had timed his run perfectly there, and that he'd scored his 3rd goal against Bolton Wanderers in 3 appearances for Barnsley.
It did look that way in the immediate aftermath of the incident against Birmingham back in January '98. But his career really picked up after the loan spell at Walsall. Here's Hristov, here's Shipperley. Waiting for the run of Nicky Eden. Hristov!
I did say, Rob, that he looked apart early on in this match. Hristov, what a sweet move.
Thomas preferred to Van der Laan tonight. This man Hristov preferred to Mike Sheeran. Eden's cross in. Shipperley got underneath it.
Just trying to punch that back to the far post. Again, it's an early ball from Barnard. Doesn't take long to whip it in there. Try and just flex his muscles. Going for the far post, but Nash, big tall goalkeeper, no problem.
Oh, and the header's been missed by Morgan, and Lost takes advantage. It's his first goal for Stockport, and it draws them level.
Well, that's a big mistake. You mentioned Chris Morgan, Rob. Andy Kilner now says, come on, that's better.
Don't forget the early start tomorrow. You won't want to be late for Manchester United against Liverpool. Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Our coverage starting at 11 o'clock. And more Nationwide League action on Sunday at noon for Sheffield United against Queen's Park Rangers. That's on Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra. Here's Hristov! It's his second of the night, and Barnsley are back in front. Oh, the header back has put Shipley in, and an instinctive strike from Neil Shipley has surely clinched the points now for Barnsley. Huge relief for Dave Bassett and delight for the travelling fans.
Dave knows that is a crucial goal. A ball over the top, and that's a mistake. Shipley, beautiful touch, 18 yards out, not stranded, and finds the top of the net. And really, it's a bad goal. Flynn, his header not nearly strong enough. Opportunism from Shipley, beautiful finish. And suddenly Stockport's dreams of getting back in the match while they're fading fast. 3-1.
Over 5,000 Barnsley fans made the trip to Bramall Lane for the derby with Sheffield United, and they only had 18 minutes to wait to cheer the first goal. Georgie Christoph making the most of some schoolboy defending. The Blunts pulled it level though 4 minutes later. Kevin Miller didn't get anything on Wayne Quinn's cross, but Alex Notman certainly did. The picture looked rosy again just 14 minutes later. Rob Coslet tried to use Georgie Christoph as a stepladder, and after consulting his linesman, the referee gave Darren Barnard the chance to do what he does best. Michael Brown made it 2-2 from this corner 3 minutes after half-time, and it was all square again. The third goal came from a well-worked free kick. Sean Derry to Darren Barnard, Barnard to Hignett, inch-perfect ball to Shipley, and Barnsley were 3-2 up. But the bitterest pill of the season came with just 14 seconds of injury time remaining. John Curtis tried to help the ball back to Kevin Miller, but Marcus Bent nipped in to give United an undeserved share of the points. Sheffield United 3, Barnsley 3.
They've scored no fewer than 82 goals already this season, 69 of them in league games. And that's a clever free kick, which Curtis comes onto and scores from. Well, that was beautifully constructed, and the Manchester United man, John Curtis, gets his first ever league goal. With his left foot of all things, and of all people to score it. Tinkler has played it directly into the path of Hignett, who can make it two. Craig Hignett gives Barnsley a precious goal right on half-time. It was Eric Tinkler who played him through, and Craig Hignett, who has scored so many times in similar situations, kept his cool, nicked it past Nicky Weaver, and Barnsley have a second goal. Back it goes from Weaver. And it's gone through for Mills, who might get a shot in here. Lee Mills turns it across. It might go in. It is. It's a goal for Manchester City. A curious goal as well. Gota may well have got the last touch on that. Gota and Dickoff both going in as Lee Mills nudged it across the area.
Shipley might be behind the defence here. He's done well. Back to Hignett. It's an open goal. And Barnsley take the lead after 13 minutes. Beautifully worked down the right side. Shipley feeding Hignett, who scores his 17th goal of the season. And I doubt if any of them were as easy as that. Wider still is Rowett. Not too many options for him. He was about the only one to Granger. Deflected into the path of Lazaridis. Out wide again is Rowett. Will keep it in. Granger once again onto his favourite left boot as it curls in. It comes off O'Connor's knees. Rankin with the turn and the finish. It might be his last game. What a way to sign off. Turned his man after being played in, and Rankin then dispatched it past Miller to earn Birmingham the equaliser after 26 minutes. Sent forward Pearce and Holdsworth, and it comes to Holdsworth! And right on the stroke of half-time, Birmingham take the lead. They had been a goal down, but they've come back well, and Holdsworth gets his 5th goal of the season. Nobody was really watching him. There was a clear header on the back post, and Birmingham lead by 2 goals to 1. Charlton. Now Lazaridis with the cross. So inviting. Comes to Hughes. Barnes' defending has been poor today. There's Adebola. Again, it's off the crossbar. It didn't go over. Rankin to finish it. He could have had a hat-trick. He's hit the crossbar, but after Adebola's shot ricocheted off the woodwork, Rankin fired home to make it 3. Here's Chettle. Barnsley have been one of the form teams in the First Division, but really struggling against Birmingham today. Van der Laan looking to turn. Pearce got in first. Now Hughes turns away from trouble. Tried to be too clever. Van der Laan now with a chance to make it 3-2. Tipped over by Bennett.
Hayward.
Spell for Fulham here. Suddenly been a little bit more adventurous.
Hignett. Now Curtis. This is Barnard. Curtis has flown into the box, just beyond his reach. Shipley steers it back across and wide.
Wow, what a ball from Barnard. And Curtis should have scored for me. This is a great ball. Suddenly Fulham are stretched, but what about this for a ball? Brilliant. Phelan almost puts through his own net. Just a whisker wide.
And the corner taken quickly, and Shipley gets in there. And this time they have converted it. The corner routine works. Played short and across to Shipley, who stabs it home.
Well, what are Fulham thinking about here? Brilliant little flick. Hignett, he was the man who was going to unlock the defence. That's brilliant. Brilliant flick in full march to Shipley, getting in front of Coleman and knocking it in. Well, Fulham for once, fast asleep. Shipley at the far post, 1-0. What a nice time to score. Fulham defenders are furious here. They're over at the linesman, screaming at the linesman. The linesman feeling saying the linesman had his flag up, saying put it back up.
Neil, nail-biting stuff. How big a victory was that tonight?
Yeah, it's very important, especially after Saturday. I was very disappointed. And it weren't exciting. It was a scrappy game, but we've got the 3 points.
The cameras have done you proud. Yet another goal. It owed a lot to Craig Hignett, though, didn't it?
Yeah, very good thinking off Barnard as well. You know, he's took the corner quick. Higgy's placed it across, and I've managed to get on the end of it.
Do you know what they were moaning about at all?
I haven't got a clue.
You don't care, then. Bring you in, Chris. I mean, the defence hasn't always earned the plaudits this season, but you did the stuff tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, we've kept a clean sheet. We've worked really hard. A good 3 points, as Ship says. Good to bounce back from Saturday, so hopefully we can keep going.
You're up in second. It isn't quite in your own hands, but surely, given your running, you must feel you've got a great chance now.
Yeah, we've just got to keep playing like that. We know what we can do. So if we just keep working hard as a team and playing football that we're good at, we know we're in a good chance.
Well done to both of you. In fact, Chris are on Nationwide Man of the Match. Neil, do you want to present him with that? Well done to both of you.
Cheers, Ship. Cheers, Paul. Cheers.
Barnsley took the lead in the first half. Chris Morgan's ball down the line fed Bruce Dyer, and his cross found Eric Tinkler, who rifled it into the roof of the net. Barnsley's second goal came when John Curtis found Darren Barnard. His cross was turned through the keeper's legs by Neil Shipley, and Dyer was on hand to knock it over the line, but it was already over. The third goal came from a neat move. Neil Shipley won the ball, he found Craig Hignett, and when he played it to Nicky Eden, Eden put it back on a plate for Craig Hignett, and he slotted it into the bottom left-hand corner. Barnsley 3, Grimsby Town 0.
After back-to-back home wins, we travelled to the Bescott Stadium to face relegation-threatened Walsall, and it wasn't long before the home side were reduced to 10 men. James Walker shown the red card for deliberate handball. Barnsley failed to take advantage in the first half and even went behind just after half-time. Kevin Miller could only parry Matthias's shot, and Paul Hall tucked home the rebound. Craig Hignett came off the bench straight after, and Barnsley began to play. Darren Barnard's cross set up Mike Sherron for his first goal since October. Barnsley never looked back after that, and when Sherron nodded down Curtis's cross for Neil Shipley, he gave standing keeper Chris Marsh no chance whatsoever. After waiting 5 months to get back on the score sheet, Mike Sherron had suddenly remembered how to do it. And when Van der Laan's neat pass found him in the area, he coolly slotted home his second goal of the afternoon. Even then there was time for a fourth. Sharon's pass found Hignett in space, and Matty Appleby did what Neil Shipley almost did and notched his 5th goal of the campaign. Walsall 1, Barnsley 4. With just 6 games remaining, the Reds looked like real contenders for automatic promotion in what looked like a 3-horse race for second spot. Charlton Athletic were all but there. After Chris Morgan had been wrongly accused of bringing down Fabian de Freitas, you kind of knew it wasn't going to be Barnsley's afternoon. Richard Sneakers, who hadn't scored for a year, kind of thought it was his birthday. The Reds, though, found some justice soon after. Everyone, including the Albion defence, expected Hignett to hit it one way, so Darren Barnard did exactly the opposite to make it 1-1. Barnsley's joy was short-lived, though, as Bob Taylor's looping header put Albion back in front. The Reds don't give up easily, though, these days, and did manage to rescue a point. Craig Hignett's sheer class found Neil Shipley via Jeff Thomas. Shipley's sheer strength brought it level at 2-2, with Hignett on hand just to make sure. Barnsley 2, West Bromwich Albion 2.
Dave, it might not have been the 3 points that everyone was hoping for, but he showed a lot of resilience in the end to come back and get a point from that.
Yeah, we had to battle away to get the point in the end, and I thought we deserved it and forced it in the end. And it was a game we wanted to win, and obviously we had a setback just after half-time when the referees alleged that we've conceded a penalty. We've equalised and then found ourselves 2-1 down. Admittedly, the second goal was down to our own marking, and we're disappointed with that. But we kept working and kept going and got the point.
Ipswich and Manchester City didn't do you any favours today either, both winning comfortably at home. So now you've got 2 very, very important away matches at Port Vale and Wolves.
Yeah, well, I've said all along we can't rely on other teams. Our destiny's in our own hands, and this was a hard-fought game. We've just got to pick ourselves up, and we've got 5 games to go. We can only go out and do our best, and we'll see how the opposition do as well in these remaining 5 games. Who knows what the results are going to be for the remainder of the season.
Vale with Burns, Yanni, Burton. They've played the short one. Plays it out to the edge of the area. Tommy Witherington. Then it comes. And that's 1-0. Saji Burton opens the scoring. 8 minutes of the first half. Port Vale 1, Barnsley 0. And I think Dave Bassett, tactically in the second half, he's going to change things around, because Port Vale, they're dominating this game at the moment. They're playing quite well as a unit. Or have I spoken too soon? Hignett, well, the golden rule, 1 minute they're playing well. You remark upon that comment. And Barnsley, against the odds, 42 minutes, pull one back. Well, Matty falling asleep there with the ball. Hignett coming away with it, saying thanks very much. The advantage definitely on with Barnsley at the moment, and look at this. Absolute schoolboy decision there. The defence just falling asleep. Liam Burns. Barnsley fans blowing for the whistle. Healy, Naylor, handball, and it's a penalty for Port Vale. Port Vale 1, Barnsley 2. To each, Tommy Worthington. The captain leads by example. A handball.
Barnsley knew a victory over Norwich City would secure them at least a place in the playoffs. Steve Chettle got the ball rolling, or should I say flying, to make it 1-0. The Reds' second goal came from a short corner. Merlin supplied the cross and Neil Shipley headed home past Marshall. Nerves were jangling in the second half when Craig Bellamy pulled this goal back for the Canaries, but Barnsley held firm to secure the 3 points. Barnsley 2, Norwich City 1.
It was Barnsley who took the lead early in the second half. Neil Shipley robbed the ball in midfield. Mike Sherrin picked up the loose ball and played a lovely through ball to Matty Appleby, who duly netted his 5th goal of the season. The Reds soon doubled their lead. Nicky Eden floated a lovely quick free kick over the Swindon defence, and Mike Sherrin was on hand to lob the advancing keeper. The home side did pull a goal back when a hopeful punt upfield wasn't properly cleared. Half-time substitute James Williams fired into the roof of the net, but it was too little too late for Swindon. Swindon Town 1, Barnsley 2. Barnsley's last home game of the season ended in defeat against Dario Gradi's Crewe. The visitors took the lead in the 55th minute. Rodney Jack with the cross, Neil Sorville with an unstoppable volley.
Dave, not the best of performances I've seen here at Barnsley, it has to be said. Is it fair to suggest that Barnsley minds are already beginning to focus on next weekend's promotion playoffs?
Well, I think the way we played today, that might be the case. That wasn't the intention, because the players were out there to win the game against Crewe today, and we didn't play well enough, and Crewe were up for the game more than we were. All right, admittedly, Crewe had something on it, and it was a little bit more important to them, but I was generally disappointed with the way we played. But hopefully this will be a one-off, and if you're going to have a poor performance, probably today was the day to have it.
Was the fixture with Crewe merely an opportunity to rest some key players then and give a chance to some fringe players?
Well, we had one or two people with slight strains and knocks, and I didn't want to take the opportunity, well, the chance with them having to play, because I didn't really want players who might have picked up extra knocks today not being unavailable next week. So I was sensible in that respect, but it was an opportunity for one or two players who were starting to show me what they could do, but unfortunately none of them really took that opportunity today.
So that suggests then that you've already got some idea of your preferred starting 11 for the next weekend's promotion playoffs?
Yeah, I've certainly more or less finalised in my own mind what I think the team will be, but we'll work on it, and you know, hopefully the team will go out and play with the enthusiasm and determination that they've done previously in the season. I anticipate they will do that, but we're going to have to play well over the 2 legs against Birmingham, because they're a good side.
That defeat meant Barnsley finished 4th in Division 1 and set them up for a semi-final playoff against 5th place Birmingham City. The first leg away at St Andrews with the home tie to come at Oakwell meant that Barnsley were just 180 minutes away from a historic first trip to Wembley. It's the first time in Barnsley's history that they've reached the Division 1 playoffs, and we'll bring you all the action from both legs of the semi-final and hopefully the final in a special feature-length video coming soon.